Hey Crestwood, hope you all are having a great day today. What a blessing it is to be alive. Right now it is raining like crazy outside my office, and I'm so thankful that we are getting some rain. We have needed that for a while, and just so amazed how God has set up our earth to continue to sustain itself, to take care of itself, and certainly honor our role in doing that as stewards of creation. So today I'm giving thanks for the rain. I'm giving thanks for you and the ability to bring you this devotional for this Wednesday, September 24th. So I really hope you can come to church on Sunday. It is going to be such an amazing experience. We have two things taking place during both worship services. The first is Reverend Donald K. Gillette II, Reverend Dr. Ronald K. Gillette II, Don, as we call him. Our regional minister will be there to preach both services. He's preaching on our stewardship theme of dreaming forward, taken from the Jeremiah 29 passage about, I know the plans I have for you. I love hearing Don preach. He brings such passion, such energy, such wisdom to his sermons, and I'm so thankful he'll be here to share in both services. And then also in both services, we will have the Backroom String Band, a bluegrass, folk, Americana, hard to pin down a genre band that will be providing all the music for both services. And what a treat it's going to be to have them use their gifts to bring us this blessing in that way. And one of the reasons I really hope you'll be there is I think it is so important that we have a variety of voices speaking from our pulpit throughout the course of a year. You hear me a bunch, and then I'm so glad that Steph, Kelly, and Missy all are willing to preach. I think having those voices, especially female voices from the pulpit's incredibly important. I'm so excited we'll have an African-American voice with Don on Sunday. I love when we have our outside groups that we partner with, our nonprofit organizations, when they come and share the ways that we are supporting them. I think the more voices we have and the more diversity of voices we have on Sunday morning, the better able we are to hear God speak in God's multitude of languages. And the same with music. I love that we have people who will come and play an instrument like Rick Jewett did for us recently, or Catherine Steckler or John Hatfield playing their guitar and singing at the early service. I think the more variety we can provide, the better. And that's always a challenge in a church when you have 52 Sundays to plan for, but we certainly try to do that. And I was thinking about that in light of what's going on in our country right now, especially the debate around what's been called hateful rhetoric, or the debate around free speech. As a former journalist, that's something that's very sacred to me. And what it's led me to think is, how am I keeping a variety and a diversity of voices in front of me in my daily life? How am I opening myself to hear varying perspectives, to hear differing viewpoints? Because I believe that provides me a more holistic understanding of what God is trying to say to me. If I just listen to an echo chamber of people who agree with me or think the same way I do or believe the same way I do, then I run the risk of thinking that I've got it right because everybody agrees with me, because everybody around me thinks the same thing. And I think humility is such an important virtue for us to try to exercise these days, because there seems to be a diminishing quality or a diminishing amount of it. But humility is willing to say, you know what, I may be wrong. Let me hear what somebody else has to say. Now, sometimes you'll hear what someone else has to say and it will confirm what you believe, or it will confirm that you disagree with them, and that's okay too. That's the part of the give and take of communication. But how are we opening ourselves to hear from people that we might disagree with? That was certainly true of Charlie Kirk. A lot of people disagreed with what he had to say. I disagreed with a lot of what he had to say. But hearing him speak helped clarify what I believed and what was important to me and what was of value to me, just as there were people who heard him speak and it confirmed that they agreed with what he said. That's the beauty, the messy beauty of living in a country where we have the ability to speak freely. And any threat to that, I think, is a threat, not just politically to democracy. I think it's a threat to who we're called to be by God, that we are called to use our voice to speak the truths as we see them, to continue to grow, refine our faith through the conversations we have with people who believe differently than us. I want to encourage you to make sure you have people around you that disagree with you, and find ways to talk with them that help you clarify and refine what it is that you believe. And please, Crestwood, always stay humble, always be willing to be wrong, always say, you know what, I'm not certain about this, but this is what I believe in faith. I believe if we can move forward that way, it just encourages those conversations and promotes that healthy faith and healing. Find someone to talk with today. God bless you, Crestwood.